Hi, this is actually so this is practice daily reading 61, and this is for yesterday, so Friday, January 9th, 2026. Um and the question was, what advice will help me today? And I drew the moon, which I haven't drawn in a very long time. So I defined it as the moon is about the dark night of the soul. And I had that whole Bible quote, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. It's about dreams, delirium, illusions, imagination, darkness, treading the line between madness and creativity, maybe fairy tricks. And to preliminarily interpret it, I said, I'm drawn to the dark forest, and it's making me think of walking a path, but being unable to see much, except in dim, distorting light. Maybe it's about walking home tonight, so I either try to make sure my mom's phone is on silent so she answers and picks me up, or she just keep my wits about me as I walk home. That's getting into predictive reading, though, but the question kind of does anyway. I think this card makes me nervous because it reminds me of my experience with psychosis a few years ago now, so I'm not sure what to make of it in an advice reading. I took my meds, so I'm good there. And then I remembered we need to pay the power bill today, and I wanted to see if my mom could pay me back the rest of rent, but the power bill takes precedence. I wonder if I would have forgotten. I guess that can be about issues around darkness. And then I thought maybe to dig into it, I ought to explore my creativity a little more. And then I looked in the guidebook, and it said that the card encompasses the idea of the wild unknown. It says it's the shadow realm where dreams and fears and mysteries are born. It talks about anxiety and self-doubt and darkness, house of mirrors, and imagination and creativity drifting freely upon the midnight air. So I said I was just gonna pay the Powerball now, and I don't know what direction to take this card other than that. Maybe to manage my fears and anxieties today and pay attention to my imagination and creative side. Maybe rely on my inner light to guide me as well, like sticking to the tried and true in terms of powers I call upon to get me through the situation. And then later, 8 hours later, um, I found these framed pictures along our apartment dumpster sitting there in case someone wanted to take them. There are actually two very similar flower ones, the moon, and one with 3 suns. And the ones I grabbed were the ones I saw first facing me. And I'll input a picture of it here. I'm using iMovie, and I don't know how to like superimpose a picture onto the video, so I'll just cut away and show you the pictures. I thought that they kind of have Wild Unknown vibes too, just a little bit. Other than that, the Powerball has been paid. My mom got to the store a little before I was done to pick me up instead of waiting on my call. I was gonna smoke cigarette after shopping, but the officer working that day seemed to want to see me get to the car safely, so I just rolled with it and had her let me out and smoke when we got to the complex. The work day was a little different. Someone didn't show up, so they shut one side of self-checkout down for the first 2 hours I was there. So it was just my side and 2 registers, so a bit busy. Later, they opened the other side for an hour and a half and had someone from customer service work it. I still got everything done on time, but at first I was a little stressed because I knew I was going to have to pee, and no one was there to watch my side. Luckily, I nabbed an unrelated but trained manager to relieve me for a moment, so it worked out. It's a bit rude to say this, but I feel like the reading mainly applied to nabbing the framed pictures. It does feel like I could see it as a mysterious and magical occurrence. I had seen some witchy things at the dumpster before too, namely an Oshun statuette. I wonder if someone grabbed them or if they got tossed away. Anyway, I'm not really quite sure what to make of it. One silly part of me is thinking the real moon card is a high priestess astrologically, but I don't think the wild unknown totally sticks to all the astrological correspondences anyway. So not much else to say, just an interesting coincidence, I guess. Cool. Um, There was one thing when I was looking at the eclectic study groups archive study, the eclectic study group of the Wild Unknown, the archived thread, the moon card. Someone said something about it being framed, and like a picture of the moon. And I thought visually that this kind of made sense to what happened a little bit. Because the rainbow kind of makes me think of a shiny frame. But that's pretty much it. I'll do my other reading later today, or after this, and then film it at the end of the day or tomorrow morning. Thank you.